Thank you to Liquid IV and Babbel for sponsoring this video. More on them after the reaction.
Citizens of the Reject Nation, it's time to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, Episode 4.
What's that in Spanish, Greg?
That is uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Good.
Yep, that's it. Alrighty, guys. Well, we've really been enjoying this show a lot. Been getting better each episode in our personal opinion. And what do you guys think?
I liked it right off the bat, but okay.
I liked it too. I just like it way more now. Leave a like on this video, people. Bend that subscribe button to get notified when our reaction is up for episode 5. And Prepper got some focus on that. Thank you to Prepper for helping us edit down these highlights. Full-length reaction watch along so you can with your own copy of Avatar: The Last Airbender available for our super sexy rejects over at our Patreon page. Thank you to all been joining. You guys rock. And over there we cover several things exclusively with highlights and watch alongs included. Let's get into action. Pipes.
There's been a mistake. The fires weren't my fault, and neither was the fight.
Earth Kingdom soldiers aren't particularly tolerant, even under the best of circumstances.
Tisk, tisk.
And these are most definitely not the best of circumstances.
Oh, cool.
And Zuko, they captured him too?
With any luck, he's probably halfway back to his ship by now.
He started the fight and left you behind and ran away. I'm really starting to see what kind of person he is.
Ooh.
What do you think will happen to us?
That.
Is it true? Were you working with the enemy?
It's complicated.
Uh-oh.
Papa.
Papa?
They would kill us. The only reason Omashu has been left alone is because of whatever small service I provided.
Is that what you call giving weapons to the enemy?
Like Iron Man.
No. Just minor designs. Nothing of any value in war.
Anything can be turned into a weapon in the wrong hands.
True.
Galen Urso.
You know what it means to make hard choices. Your father had to leave your family to go to war, leaving you, just a boy. We do what we must to survive.
My father would have never done what you did.
Ooh.
You're not my dad. You're not my replacement.
I found him. Aang's in prison.
People just keep walking through this door with bad information.
Is there a lock on that door? No one knocks?
No one's going to notice that scar.
I was like,
Something looks different about you, man.
Aang! Hey, Aang! Oh, hey, Bumi!
Boomy!
I'm doing all right with my forms, but shaping is hard.
They were friends at first.
I don't remember this.
That means you're gonna see Boomy.
There's nothing like earth-bending masonry. That's what makes their cities a wonder. Gravity-defying tower, impenetrable prison.
I like the parts of Omashu that aren't so depressing.
Fair.
Cities are like people. They always have their dark side.
Pretty dark on all the sides these days.
No, there's a gray.
My brother, the Fire Lord, sees things through only one lens. Victory or defeat.
Black and white thinking.
Not even family.
Not even the loved ones lost along the way.
That's why Zuko's so hot to catch me?
Hot. Get it?
So he can win this war for his dad?
Zuko's victory lies not in winning the war.
You underestimate the power of daddy problems.
You could show him this isn't the way. He'll listen to you.
And you won't.
He owes you that much.
He owes you that much.
On the contrary, it is I who owe him.
Oh,
Far more than I can ever repay.
Iroh.
I like that they're developing this relationship between them.
You can get us into the palace.
Not after today. I'm sorry, I can't.
Coward.
The secret tunnels, hidden under the mountain. It said that the founders of the city used them to meet without anyone knowing.
A fairy tale.
You told me you've seen them.
Erroneous.
Ratting his dad out.
Well, those who go in never come out. Vengeful spirits guard the passages.
Not just secret tunnels, secret haunted tunnels.
There's nothing I can do about the palace guards.
We'll worry about that. Just help us get inside.
Man, you need some solutions.
Problem solving? Aren't you an engineer?
Where are you taking him?
To the pit.
An Earth Kingdom labor camp. No one who's been sent there has ever been heard from again.
You're not as lucky. You're going to see the king.
I remember this now.
What is it?
It's my Fire Nation contact.
You up?
Then go to the Earth Kingdom generals and let them know they can set a trap to round up these spies.
The Firebenders made it clear. Any resistance and they'll send everything they've got at us.
Let them come. The Avatar has returned to the world. It's time to stop hiding.
Oh, man, dude.
It's time to fight.
You seem like you want blood. A little bit more of a horror touch this episode.
I just remembered who he's the king.
He was caught fighting, destroying property, menacing the people.
I forgot he was the king.
I just remembered it when they rolled him in the room.
Lotus root, pine bark,
dried jasmine. Lotus root, pine bark, dried jasmine, scalding hot water, steep for 2 minutes.
Yeah, he's got the voice down. The voice I remember.
He is not just an airbender. He is the master of all 4 elements, the savior of the world. He is the Avatar. And he's very, very good at rock skipping.
Bumi?
There you go.
Hello, Aang.
Bumi! How are you still alive?
More importantly, how are you still alive? I'm still a child.
He revealed himself early.
Ooh.
Ew.
What idiot told you to put pine bark in it?
You did.
Throw him a feast.
I wonder if we're still going to get the fight.
Oh, yeah.
He revealed himself early. Well, there goes half your powers.
Dump that right on the floor, honey.
Jet.
I'm brooding Jet now.
Hear the music change?
I thought you were on our side, on my side.
That we're going to have a family together.
You told me to remember my mother, and I did. I remembered she never wanted bitterness to fill my heart. That's how I know you've ended up on the wrong side. You're not fighting for anything you love. You're fighting because of hate.
Yeah, take your own advice, man.
Just like the Firebenders.
I am nothing like the Firebenders.
I really like this actor. Oh!
Shouldn't put your hands on her, man.
He wasn't doing it in like a negative way.
Whoa.
Goodbye, Jet.
I loved you, Jet.
Look at the power you have. That's because of me.
That wasn't you. That was me.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, girl.
You don't belong here.
I was assigned prisoner transfer duty. I'm late.
The old firebender was taken to the pit. The other one's still here. Well, you're just gonna stand there?
Choose your path.
For your meal, I offer you 2 choice short ribs from Kangaroo Island.
Kangaroo.
They jump into your mouth.
Aang's face.
I don't eat meat.
That's right, you don't.
Was this a test?
No, more like a game. You always liked games, didn't you?
Who's this actor?
Frozen in an iceberg. That must have been nice.
It was a nightmare.
How bad could it have been, huh? The world is on fire, and you got to sleep through it all.
That is a dream.
All the airbenders were wiped out, and I wasn't there to help them.
Oh, those monks were always a bit flighty. Am I right?
I need to get to the Northern Water Tribe as soon as possible. So I can save the waterbenders.
Let us leave.
Like how they're portraying it like power corrupts him. Smart.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think it's power corrupting him. I think he's jaded.
Have you been fighting the same fight for a century? Have you watched your whole world burn down around you?
It was a hell of a shot.
You may be 100 years old, but you haven't lived for 100 years. Not these 100 years.
Can't make me believe you've lost hope.
Oh, really? Challenge accepted.
We gotta get the fight.
This was the only opening in the mountain. Do you hear music?
When you find yourself in darkness, and all you see are rocks.
Oh, yes.
Well, good. Grab that, would you?
Inside,
Shake it.
I don't remember this at all.
full of my heart.
He's getting into it.
Her face.
That was all kinds of right. So what are you doing here?
You remember these guys?
What are you doing here?
Acoustics. Best in Omashu. Hear that? That's what we're all about. Harmony, music, love.
Hell yeah.
So rad.
If these guys are okay being here, the tunnels probably aren't that bad.
Tunnels. No, these aren't the tunnels. Those are the tunnels.
We have to find our friend.
Well, in that case, you should probably see this. It's a tale of 2 lovers.
I remembered.
Oma and Shu met on top of the mountain that divided their 2 villages. The villages were enemies, so they couldn't be together. But their love was strong, so they found a way.
It's cool.
They learned earthbending from the badger moles.
Badger moles?
They built elaborate tunnels so that they could meet secretly.
I love this animation style.
I love how they're interweaving all of these together.
Oma didn't come. Shu wielded her earth-bending power to bring the villages to their knees. She declared the war over. Both villages helped her build a new city where they would live together in peace. Omashi as a monument to their love.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like it's just going on the details of that one painting. That's great.
Remember that, especially if you're going to go into the dark void from which no living being ever returned.
There's nothing to be afraid of in there.
There's no such thing as angry spirits.
I am loving how they're doing this.
They're doomed.
Famed Dragon of the West is in their midst. A Fire Nation general who laid siege to Ba Sing Se for 600 days. Someone might be tempted to take matters into their own hands. Now, is there anything I can do to make your journey more comfortable?
I'm fine.
Ooh.
Come on, don't hesitate to speak up.
I think it's understandable.
And I've got all the time in the world.
They're earthbenders. He laid siege to Ba Sing Se.
Yeah.
It makes sense. He's pissed off at him.
It's like some type of
That's like
lotus
a
that's white.
coin. That's like a white coin. I'll keep that in mind for later.
There's fire all over the north.
I don't have a choice.
A word of advice, the direct path is not always the best path.
There we go.
It means you should be careful where you step.
Bumi, what is this?
Take your shirt off, Jimmy.
Show us the loincloth, Boomy.
Whoa, shit.
Wanted to punch him in the face, Greg?
Maybe I'm trying to show you there are no easy journeys for the Avatar. And maybe I just wanted a bite of rock candy.
That's some interesting makeup.
Yeah. They didn't get an old guy to play this part.
Should have got an actual senior citizen.
There's got to be a 112-year-old around here somewhere that can wheeled out.
I'm coming, Uncle.
I love their relationship here.
This way.
Is that what the map says?
Map's unclear, but I got a hunch.
Good, good.
A feeling, an instinct. You see that?
Instinct based off what?
Put out your light.
Is that a big spider? I'm not going to be happy if that's a big spider.
Well, what do you know?
Multiple baby spiders.
Love is brightest in the dark. You have to let it get dark so you can follow the light. That's how you find the path.
It said love is brightest in the dark, not glowy rocks.
Poetic license, like the minstrel said.
I'm not a little girl anymore. And you keep acting like you know everything when you couldn't even tell that a traitor was flat out lying to you.
Says the girl who fell for a terrorist.
Ooh.
You don't get to tell me who I can talk to.
And you don't get to just ignore me.
I can if you're being an idiot.
Dad put me in
You're
charge.
not Dad.
Ooh.
Truth hurts.
Wait, that wasn't nice of her to say.
He's acting like he's dad. I'm always on Katara's side.
Guess we're not in Wolf Cove anymore, are we?
Guess not. Imagine if Gran Gran could see us now.
Yelling at each other. Tisk tisk.
We could go for some of her seal jerky.
Or noodles.
Seal jerky.
We'll get some soon.
You really think so?
Can we postmate some seal jerky?
We don't eat seals.
We.
I can still see you. You're right next.
I mean, Iroh's on a path of atonement.
He doesn't know that. He just sees the man who, like...
I know.
Being in the military, we got special privileges. My brother, though, he had a soft heart.
Uh-oh.
He's going to do something dangerous.
He'd gather food and water from his platoon and give them to the children.
Uh-oh. You killed his brother, Iroh.
He was on watch.
Yep.
The night you torched the Eastern Wall.
Oh!
By the time we put the fires out, there was nothing left of him to bury.
Oh, shit.
He was 19. All those lives lost, all that fighting, and Ba Sing Se still stands. Was it worth it?
Appreciate the maturity on this.
We were at war. I was a soldier. You were a butcher.
I appreciate the flip side of we're seeing Iroh's really dark past affecting a character here.
Yeah.
I can still smell smoke when I go to sleep at night.
Oh, man. That's PTSD.
War pushes us to the edge. Is that your pitiful way of saying you're sorry for what you did? I wasn't talking about me.
It's really well done because I don't hate him. Even
Yeah.
though I love Iroh, I understand his emotions.
You have no humanity. You know nothing of loss.
Because up until this point, Iroh's just been like, "Oh, Grandpa, ooh, I love you, little Grandpa. Pinch your little cheekies."
Yeah.
And now you're like, "Oh, he's got a dark past. He really did some messed up stuff."
He abandoned the siege?
Yes, after his son was killed.
Like we know about it. There it is.
So, his son dies a hero, and he'll be forever known as a coward.
He knows loss.
Take comfort in knowing that Lutan will forever be hailed as a champion of the Fire Nation.
Thank you, Ozai.
His sacrifice will be enshrined in legend.
Very sorrowful episode.
What a great honor for you and for Lutan.
Pre-Scar.
Who is this? Oh, Scarface.
When my studies weren't going well and Father was unhappy, Lutan gave me this. He'd won it.
Whoa.
For finishing first in his officer class.
This is so powerful.
It should belong to someone destined to do great things. It gave me strength.
Whoa. And strengthening their relationship
Yeah.
and bond right now, too. That's smart.
In his uncle's darkest moment.
Lutan never needed it because he was the strongest person I knew.
Aw.
Oh, and he sits next to him.
Wow.
That's what he was talking about. He owes Zuko more than he could ever repay.
Gave him hope, too.
Yeah. Oh,
Excellent job here.
that was so well done.
Like they incorporated the backstory, but you see the actual effect
The
it has
connection.
and the trauma as well that Iroh carries and the weight of his the consequences of his actions.
He lost family, just like us. He knows how those memories can hold you back. He got me to see that I'd only been thinking about how Mom died and not how she lived.
This episode's a lot about how to handle your trauma.
And the people who help you through that trauma.
You know, Sai told me I should be an engineer. That was my true calling. But it was nice to hear someone tell me I had something to offer the world. Besides my superior fighting skills.
What I said about you and Dad.
You led the tribe and protected us with nobody to help you.
Dad never had to bear that kind of burden alone. You had it harder than him.
Wow. This is really getting me, you guys. I love a good brother-sister relationship bonding moment.
Oh, that's not right.
The crystals were just crystals. Like I thought.
I take back everything I said.
You are a loser.
We were here before, but this wall wasn't.
How is that possible?
The tunnels are changing.
Creepy.
The Bumi I know is a fun-loving, happy kid who loves to skip rocks and always thinks about his friends.
Shot with such a weird horror twist.
Who cares about responsibility? Let's play one final game.
Wonder if they're gonna really commit to this.
Do you remember this fight scene from the show? I
Said that to
barely
me
do.
so much. It's like, this is so weird.
You versus me.
Yeah!
To the death.
I like his very young body.
Hey man, he's survived all this time for a reason. Oh yeah.
Badger Mo! That looks like Watson. That is Watson.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Awesome.
Do it! We've all seen enough death.
It's a good fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
We need to go.
I think you should rest.
No time.
Really shown Zuko's softer side a lot more early on.
It's really well done because I care more about it.
Badger bolts are terrifying.
Yeah, I'm like,
Jeez.
actually, they're kind of cute in the animated show, but I'm like, oh, it's terrifying here.
What's going on? Are we dead?
Love is brightest in the dark. It wasn't about the crystals.
I think this is so brilliant.
I don't remember if this is like that animated show, but
I don't think it
the way
is.
it happened here was like, didn't feel like coincidence at all.
They sense feelings and react to them. Anger, fear, but mostly love.
How do you think they do with verbal commands? We'd really appreciate if you could show us the way to the palace, please.
I love you. Yeah. Yes. I've never been so happy.
Please, Bumi, you don't have to do this.
Some of us have to fight even when we don't want to. That's what it means to be in a war.
See, there you go, Greg.
You'd have known about that if you'd been around, but you weren't.
Jesus, more guilt.
You can't rely on anyone, even your friends. Especially your friends.
Clear it, clear it, clear it, clear it. Oh, wow.
It's time for the games to end.
That armpit hair.
That was disgusting.
It's so gross. Yes, Aang.
Booby could easily stop it.
This isn't a game!
Yes, it is. One that requires you to make impossible choices. Who gets the last of the food scraps, the orphanage, or the soldiers?
Torture.
Are you okay?
Well, kid, you sure know how to bring the house down.
You were wrong. You can rely on your friends. That's the only way I'm gonna save the world.
You think like a child.
Is that really so bad? Remember this? I use it to call a friend. That's what I'm gonna do now. You're right. I wasn't here for the world or for you. But I'm here now.
Yeah, talk your way out of these situations, Aang, like Naruto does. Amazing.
Fire Nation forces are on the move. They'll be here by dawn.
You're under attack?
Fortunately, a soul tipped us off.
Aha.
It's time Mashu rejoined the war. But I do have one more challenge for you.
Yes!
What are you doing here, Uncle?
Same as you, getting ready to embark on what is sure to be a memorable journey.
You want to come with me?
I've come fully prepared. All the tea I need.
So sweet.
So much heart to this.
I don't need a babysitter.
How about a friend?
It's getting me.
Could be a very long time before we return home.
Everything I need is on this boat.
That's really sweet.
What is it, Zuko?
Nothing. Let's get you home.
Choosing his uncle. I love it. He's so much more likable here.
Wow.
That was incredible.
All right, Reject Nation. So today I want to share something with you that has been a wonderful addition to my health and fitness journey that I discovered during the holidays, and that is Liquid IV's Hydration Multiplier. I'm down to my very last packet, and I'm freaking out, but it's okay. I got more in the mail. Now, a lot of you have been so kind to notice how I've been working on my physical health. Thank you for all the compliments. And one thing I learned is that proper hydration is absolutely crucial, especially post-workout and pre-filming after post-workout. And my wife actually introduced me to this product, which is perfect because we not only care about quality, but a good taste and quality product. So whether it's after a sweaty workout or just after, a good night out, you know what I'm saying? Efficient hydration and replenishing electrolytes is key. You just feel better, and it tastes fantastic. I can't emphasize that enough. Another thing that I'm always on the lookout for too is products that have zero sugar or zero sugar added, because that's one of my main dietary restrictions throughout the week. And they of course got products that fit that description that also taste good too. So yes, thank you so much. So Liquid IV's Hydration Multiplier is, in summary, is they are a non-GMO electrolyte drink that delivers hydration into your bloodstream faster and more efficient than water alone. Because sometimes drinking a whole gallon is not always efficient, but in fact it can provide the same hydration as drinking 2 to 3 bottles of water. I'm also big on efficiency. Plus, it's packed with 11 essential vitamins, and we know vitamins are good for the body. It's vegan, soy-free, gluten-free, and dairy-free. You can customize the water amount to your taste. Again, perfect for post-night recovery, traveling, or just having a big night out. You know what I mean? No. So, if you want to boost your support for the channel and boost your hydration game, go to liquidiv.com and use promo code REJECTS at checkout. That's liquidiv.com, promo code REJECTS. And remember, Liquid IV, It's not a real IV, but it sure feels like it. So stay hydrated, stay healthy, and let's keep crushing those health and fitness goals together in the year 2024. Hello there, esteemed viewer of The Real Rejects. I, Greg Alba, language connoisseur and worldly gentleman, am here to bestow upon you the secrets of Babbel. Babbel is an engaging language learning app designed for real-life conversations, offering quick 10-minute lessons tailored by linguistic experts to effectively teach you a new language. Its conversation-based approach, enhanced with speech recognition technology, makes Babbel worth trying for anyone looking to learn at their own pace, anytime, anywhere. My dear friends, in this age of monolingual mundanity. Babbel is our beacon of hope, crafted by an army of over 150 language experts. Their lessons are like linguistic caviar, rich, refined, and oh so satisfying. Personal tale of triumph. I once whispered sweet nothings in Spanish, or for the layman, Espanol, to my wife, courtesy of Babbel. Her reaction, well, I'll tell you, she was utterly bewitched. Greg, you silver-tongued devil, no paraphrasing. She exclaimed such vocabulary as I basked in the glory of my perfect pronunciation. Because Babbel isn't just about learning words. It's about embracing the art of conversation with podcasts, live classes, and a veritable smorgasbord of interactive lessons. I know the words I'm saying. And their speech recognition? It's like having a personal language butler, ensuring every syllable is impeccably crisp. Now brace yourselves for an offer of monumental proportions. Here's a special limited time deal for our viewers and listeners to get you started right now. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but again, only for our viewers at babbel.com/rejects. 55% off at babbel.com/rejects. Spelled BABBEL.com/rejects. Rules and restrictions may apply. Join me, the Greg Alba, in the adventure of language mastery at Babbel. We shall not just learn, no, nay, we shall conquer the world of communication. Or as they say in Spanish, comunicación. We're done with this ad. That was really good. That was great. That was great. I do think after Zuko kicked all those Earthbenders' asses that he easily could have punched Aang at least once or twice in the last episode.
That's what I think about that opinion. Okay.
Ramble on. Go ahead.
You're the one who talks all the time.
I know. Now it's your turn. You seem like a lot.
I love the episode. I thought it was really well done. I love that they're interweaving stories that happen in a singular episode, an Avatar, into the long-term story here. So it's like multiple episodes smushed together, but it's done really well. Like that love one. The love kiss. You not remember that from the first one?
No.
Well, I won't spoil it, but it's a whole separate episode.
Oh.
And they've interwoven it here. I don't know if they're going to bring the component that was in the animated show that made it like what it was in the animated show, because they did the whole brother-sister thing. And then the overall theme here is relationships and overcoming the trauma with the people around you, with your friends and family. And I think that's really well done and not focus on like a romantic singular interest, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I really think they're doing a very, very good job of condensing a lot of episodes into a long-term story here in the short amount of time they have for 8 episodes?
Yeah. Well, they're not just singularly condensing. They're also expanding on.
Yeah.
And they get creative
Yeah.
with how to, have characters interact. I mean,
or to add new things
Yeah.
to expand upon the story that we may know, other people may not know, but you're getting fully more, in my opinion, more fleshed out stories here.
Elements to make it more fleshed out.
Yeah.
And, there's qualities that come in terms of the animated show that come in later on in the animated series that they're bringing over earlier.
Yeah.
In ways that still feel earned, that make
authentic.
They feel sincere to the journey, and they make it for a different journey. And like I think the most obvious one is with the main focus being Iroh and Zuko here. Seeing like Iroh at the funeral and the the words he exchanges with Iroh at the funeral, and then how Iroh's there for him before he sets sail, choosing to go kind of at the last minute.
Parallel, because you see Zuko sit next to his uncle at his darkest time, and then it's paralleled where his uncle is standing next to Zuko during his darkest time, saying, "You're not alone." You know, it's a parallel that's very well done.
Yeah, for an episode called Into the Dark, so much about it is love conquering during the darkest times in our lives, and getting these softer sides of Zuko earlier on. Because, yeah, I mean, Zuko's, I mean, at least for the anime counterpart, I remember just he was so gung-ho, Mr. Angst all the time.
Yeah.
It was a while before.
Whiny, complaining, in my opinion. I didn't like him.
I didn't enjoy watching him. It was. Then I eventually loved him when more of these aspects started coming into the fold, but that was like way later, you know? So, but to implement it here, it creates a different journey. And I think it's kind of necessary for live action storytelling, because it's not a one-to-one where you're trying to just establish, like what they've made distinctly clear here is Fire Lord Ozai is the ultimate villain. Whereas I remember in the animated show Experience, they were trying to sell you on Zuko is the villain in the first season, and then the world would get bigger. But I loved what they did here, because I mean, we know of Iroh's backstory, but seeing the affect that it has on other people in a way that feels like true, like war suffrage effect. And I like how he doesn't try to gain this soldier's sympathies, you know, like it would feel.
He's not so apologetic and like, I'm so like.
Or being like, I understand, I went through my losses too. You don't know. Like, there's nothing about that. Like, he knows he can't change this soldier's mind, and he stays stern. And in some ways, he's kind of giving the soldier what he wants, which is the soldier wants to punish Iroh. The soldier wants to fight. The soldier wants to see him as someone without humanity, and he's giving him that.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's very nuanced there. I think this was like, other than a couple of like silly moments that were intentional silly, this is a very serious, this is a very mature episode. Like, it feels very adult, you know.
Because then on the flip side, you get the trauma that this soldier experienced at the hands of Iroh. Then you get Bumi as well, and what Aang's departure from his life meant. And while I don't like the overly guilting, because I think it's pretty clear Aang didn't choose to leave. He wasn't like escaping. So I feel like that's a message that's lost. So a lot of the time when they're guilting him, I'm like, it's not like he fled. He thought war was coming and he ran and purposely locked himself in an ice thing for 100 years. It wasn't his choice. He's here now, you know, but there's still that resentment of feeling abandoned for all those years and what he had to go through for all those years.
Yeah, well, the belief that everyone had for all this time was that he fled in some way. And that's no one saw him leave.
I thought it was that they killed him, because they said they killed all the.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe. Yeah. Well, regardless.
But isn't the Avatar reborn in some way, right?
Yeah, the Avatar's always reborn. Yeah, I'm not sure. I do think. I think it was a little bit more. I remember the fight really well with Bumi, but if I recall correctly, Bumi in the animated show, Bumi's like weird and welcoming and creepy, and he fights him, and then he reveals that he's Bumi.
Yeah, I think it happens at the end. Yeah.
And so they did a complete inverse here, where he reveals he's Bumi up front, and I don't recall Bumi harboring all this resentment towards him. And like I said, there's a lot of like actual changes that I think in terms of adapting that I think are more effective for this version they're telling.
Agreed.
And I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the boot. You know what it is? It's not that I didn't like it, but I did find it the least effective out of all the stories we cut to here.
Yeah.
It was the one I was looking forward to the most, and it was the one that I didn't find that emotionally impactful. Because like everything with Sokka and Katara, I thought was more fleshed out, more nuanced, and I think what the execution they've been doing with Sokka has been really, really good, because they find moments to still bring out that goofball that we love in him, and the side that shows that, yeah, while he's like capable and everything, there's still like a dweeb inside of him that comes out.
But that's not what he's dumbed down to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's kind of like dumb in the it's a while before you're
So
like,
for a certain point,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, he's just the comedic relief.
Yeah, and here you see that they show the respect of where he's had to rise to and taking place of his father not being there, and the kinship between him and Katara, I think, is really strong here. Like, I thought this episode was very important for that.
Yeah,
and of course everything with Zuko and Iroh was incredibly impactful, both on their solo adventures, but them as a unit and why their bond is so strong. And I think making it really clear up front, like this early on, that they're not like just an antagonist,
Yeah.
you know, that there's something way more to them. They're also characters who are on a path of understanding that maybe their allegiances are not in the right place. But then when it came to like Bumi and Aang, I kind of felt like the lessons were not like, I don't feel like anything was really learned from that.
For,
it was
for
like
Aang, yeah, no.
it was for Aang or anyone real. I mean, the lesson being
Bumi
like,
learned. Yeah, I guess.
Bumi learns, and he instills in him that whole thing of, no, I will, like instilling faith again. So I understand that. I thought it was a bit meandering in this execution. I found myself becoming less and less interested the moment we kept cutting back to it.
Interesting. To me, Aang is Naruto, so I'm like,
Yeah, no, he is that character.
yeah. So when
He's that anime character
that
You're
sits
that
and
chosen-
talks
yeah.
and like calms everyone down
Yeah.
and like the talk no jutsu type thing. That's his superpower. So it didn't bother me. It is the less impactful storyline of the episode for sure, in my opinion. But I wasn't like, I don't know. Maybe I should. I get what you're saying. I should care more about Aang's story here, honestly, because he's the main character. Whereas I finished this episode and I'm like, I can't wait to see Iroh and Zuko. Like, I want more of Iroh and Zuko. Whereas we should want more of Aang's journey.
I have noticed that we've been liking the show more and more, and it becomes less and less about Aang's story.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough. And I'm wondering, like, maybe this is one of the. I mean, there's still 4 more episodes to go.
Yeah.
But so far on this journey, like episode 1, like we liked, but our enthusiasm has definitely come more to the forefront, at least on our subjective viewing, from episode 2 through 4. And that's usually when the other characters are becoming, bless you, are becoming more center stage and taking more of the screen time and stuff. And it's nothing on the actors really. It's I don't
They're
really know
not
if that
really
comes
giving Aang a lot to do.
It's not the
Emotion-wise,
most depth.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And
But
I don't know
that also
why.
makes sense. He has no connectivity to the world.
Well, it kind of feels like a little repetitive.
Yeah.
Everyone, he just shows up and people guilt.
Yeah.
You know?
Where have you been?
Yeah,
Dude.
where have you been, dickbag? You know? And yeah, but I mean, there's still 4 more episodes. At the end of the day, he is the main character, and in the animated show experience, in the beginning, it was like Aang, my favorite character for sure, and then I would fluctuate between, I would hover between other
I
characters.
think it was always Aang for me.
Yeah, Aang was great, and then here it's not the actor's fault.
No.
And again, this is structured in terms of focus very different. You know, like the anime shows like 22-minute episodes, and you're just watching Aang and Bumi for like 2 episodes. Whereas here you're cutting between different storylines that are all having to thematically line up with each other.
And it's done really well.
It's done really well, but usually it's the Aang story that is not the most interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Which could be maybe the show's biggest detriment by the end.
It could be, but also I think it's really smart to build up the side characters who are going to have larger parts outside of Aang later down the road.
I am wondering with it being, because, you know, like they are kind of combining elements from other seasons already.
Yeah.
How many seasons do they want to do for live action? And kids grow up, you know, like
How many
tall
are
is
they
Aang gonna get?
expecting? Yeah. How many are they expecting out of this is the question.
Well, they do that, and they do 3 seasons.
Isn't Netflix like 3 seasons and then you're
They do 3 seasons, and then you do Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
Oh man, Legend of Korra live action. That's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be dope, but I think this is my favorite so far of the animated series. And
really,
yeah,
I
I'm really loving this. Honestly, I'm super engaged.
I respect your opinion.
I don't respect yours, so that's okay.
That's okay. I'm free to disagree. I can respect that you don't respect my opinion.
I know you can, because I can walk all over you.
Amen to that. Amen to that, sister.
But I hated Zuko. Like, I was not connecting to him in the animated show, and I felt like it was being shoved down my throat. Blah, blah, blah. That one guy telling me I'm going to love Zuko eventually, and I'm like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't like him. I find him whiny. He's so well fleshed out here.
But you do love Zuko. But I remember our experience when we got to the third. We were really on board with him in the second season. He does some shit, and then the third season we loved him. I remember that.
Third season, I loved him, but I didn't for the first half of the third season. Remember? I got a lot of hate for that.
But that's part of the back and forth with Zuko that you're supposed to have in the animated show. I think you're supposed to have that, and I respect that a lot.
I respect that. I care so deeply about. I feel he's a fleshed out, not one-dimensional character here.
Fair.
Whereas I did in the first season of the animated show, I felt he was super one-dimensional.
I feel like you'll get crap not for your opinion on the live action, but for what you're stating about the animated show.
That's usually how it goes. I'm expecting people to go watch our reactions.
People are like,
I am expecting.
I respect what you're saying about the live action, but what you said about the animated show.
My concern doing this reaction was people are going to go to the Patreon, become Patreon members, watch my reaction, be like, this fucking bitch hated the animated show.
But
for
you
a while.
didn't. The journey.
I had heavy criticism.
You were a strong feeler.
I had heavy criticism.
Yeah, you're a strong feeler. You have strong opinions. Like you know how you think and you know how you feel. Yeah. Whereas I'm always like trying to figure out how I think and feel. You know how you think and feel, and so when you love it, you love it. When you're pissed at it, you're pissed at it. Yeah. And I think I remember our journey with the third season being like, yeah, this was great. Like
I also remember a lot of the comments that I got. So
the journey along the way. Yeah.
I am the Zuko of this reaction duo.
Sure. Sure.
So I'm fully expecting to have some controversial opinions. But for me, this is working really, really well. I think it gets better every episode.
I think it gets better every episode. I can't quite meet you on that one specific opinion about this being the best of them, but I still...
Man, we really loved Legend of Korra, and then they really messed some stuff up.
Legend of Korra, that was the journey that I was most like, wow, what's everyone talking about? This is amazing. And then it was like, oh, God.
This is what everyone's talking about.
Then it got great again.
But then it got bad again.
I remember it, for the most part, being pretty solid.
We did not like season 2.
Season 2 was the rough one.
Yeah.
But 3 and 4 were pretty... 3, I remember 3 being like, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then 4 was like, it kind of hovered, but for the most part. But I am liking this a lot, and it's surprising, and I appreciate that they're not doing just a 1-to-1 adaptation as well. Like they are splicing and they are creating and they're building upon, and they're giving flashbacks in unexpected ways and nuances and areas that one wouldn't expect. And because they're structurally dealing with a different type of episode runtime, it's allotting them an opportunity. And I don't think you can do a 1-to-1 adaptation of the animation. Like it would be weird and jarring and pointless. It would be really silly to just do a 1-to-1. And maybe I understand nostalgia, and I understand people wanting usually to just be a 1-to-1, but what's the point of that?
Yeah.
There's no point, and they're giving us something that feels a little bit more serious. So sometimes some of the more goofy stuff can feel a bit out of a place to me with the tone. Like some of the Bumi stuff.
It was a little...
It was like, this is not tonally jiving with the rest of the episode for me. And so that was the part as a fan of the animated show to go, oh, this is the part I'm really looking forward to. And this part's not really working for me as much. But everything else is really working well.
The cabbages.
They made the cabbage, man. My cabbages.
That worked for me.
That was
I'm
hilarious.
so happy we got Cabbage Man.
Keep bringing him back.
Keep bringing him back.
Because then she's just like randomly everywhere. Isn't
Everywhere
Right,
throughout
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
show. You're like, there's a Cabbage Man. He's always like, my cabbages. My cabbages.
What became of Jet? He was just frozen there? Should have done a post-credit scene.
No, Jet comes back, remember?
I know, but in this episode, is Jet just like, somebody let me out?
No, he's got like a bunch of Peter Pan friends around him. They're going to come around.
Yeah, Rufio. That's who he is. He's Rufio.
Yeah, his little Peter Pan. Lost Boys. Little Lost Boy crew.
Lost Boys. Never seen that movie.
You've never seen Peter Pan?
Never seen Lost Boys. I've never seen the animated Peter Pan.
You've never seen the animated Peter Pan?
No. Should I do a reaction?
No, you should just watch it with me.
No. That's not the way life works
I'm aware
anymore.
of it now. I know. You've never seen The Lost Boys either?
No.
Wow.
Oh, reaction.
No, please, God.
What?
Can we not have an authentic life?
We're YouTubers.
I am not.
You're married to one. There is no authenticity in our life. Everything you say makes me go, should there have been a camera pointed at me?
I'm aware.
Could I have monetized this conversation we're having in some way?
Okay. Well, I want a divorce, so.
And if we vlog the journey, I could pay you for those divorce bills.
That's the thumbnail title. He's like, the perfect thumbnail. Reaction to episode 4? Divorce.
Question mark?
She wants to
Exclamation mark?
divorce me, question mark. With a shock face.
And you say you're not a YouTuber. You know exactly what you're doing. You're the real mastermind behind all this. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go work on editing. Thank you guys so much. Talk with y'all soon. Chase Gardner. You have easily one of the most noun names.
Hey.
You have a noun verb name.
Sure.
Verb noun name I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you haven't opened up a gardening business.
Ooh.
Where you're just doing it while running the whole time.
Just like I'll run from one yard to the next, doing it as fast as I can. It's your whole gimmick.
You have to be running and chasing down. And what do? You chase roots down, my friend. You're chasing down the best place for photosynthesis to occur in the garden, my man. Imagine that kind of life that you could have there. And then check this out. While you're garden chasing, as what they call the activity, you find a dead body in one of the gardens, right? It's all full of like worms and it's skeletal structure. It's disgusting. It's all completely rotten to the core. And you found it, and then you decided like take it out. You call the police for them to go pick it up. And then what's there in your gardening business? A little fancy medieval book. What is this book? Oh, there's how to read instructions going on here. And fortunately, the client who you are now guarding for, they speak the ancient language there of how to read. Even though they're like, don't read from the book. You're like, I'm Chase Gardner. I chase after things. That's my job, is to dig up the truth.
Chase knowledge.
And then boom, you read from the book and that corpse comes to life. Plot twist, that corpse is actually your biological girlfriend.
Oh, yep. It's a miracle. By DNA science, you were able to find and revive her. Yeah, man. It's a family reunion and a family reunion all at the same time.
And then you live your life happily together.
Yeah.
That's what Chase Gardening Incorporation does,
That's what the
man.
chase gets you when you don't give up.
Business.
Immortality.
That's what I'm talking about.
You got this.
I think that was about as smooth as it's going to go.
That is the smoothest one of the day.